22nd of December is the day called Unity Day in Zimbabwe. However, we as ZAPU, we as people of Zimbabwe are still in mourning. We mourn on this day because this day brings memories of suffering. This day brings back memories of desperation, uncertainty, and desperation. This day called Unity Day came about after a 7-day spree of wholesale murder, rape, arson, disappearances, dispersion of the people of millions of Matebele land by Kukurahundi. Whilst we appreciate that our leaders in the name of Joshua Mkabukonkomwa and Robert Gabriel Mugabe came together and signed the so-called Unity Accord. We appreciate that because before even the ink had dried on that paper, the wholesale mayhem stopped. Even if the Unity Accord was signed at gunpoint for ZAPU, it achieved the most important thing in our lives, the stopping of the bloodshed and the bloodletting. Of course, for ZANU, it enhanced their dream for a one-party state. We are still in mourning today because Kukurahundi continues in several forms, overt and covert forms. Kukurahundi as a system, Kukurahundi as an ideology, continues in various ways. The immunity and impunity afforded those who committed Kukurahundi has made it possible for Kukurahundi to continue in the way it is continuing today. We have seen it manifest itself as Muramba Tsvina, where homes were destroyed, where property were destroyed, where people were displaced internally and externally. We have seen it manifest itself as violence during the elections period. It has never failed to manifest in itself in one way or the other. Kukurahundi has exacerbated the tribalism in this country. Tribal relations in this Zimbabwe is at a very bad state. Kukurahundi as a system continues to displace people. Kukurahundi as a system continues to arrest people without trial and keep them in prison for having expressed different views from the views of ZANU. We talk of Sikala, who has been imprisoned, Job Sikala, who has been imprisoned for almost 2 years now without trial. We talk of the MRP 9, who have been arrested for over 2 years, for over 3 years, for having expressed different opinions, different views to those who have power. People have been displaced and dispersed abroad because of Kukuraundi. Today, there are no jobs. Today, there are no factories. Today, it's hard to find employment because the system of Kukuraundi has allowed those that lead us to loot, to destroy, and get away with that without any punishment. Today, Kukuraundi still punishes those they view as enemies, real or imagined. There are cases of former ZAPU combatants who have got farms and who have had their farms, their properties taken away. Kukuraundi still persists because ZAPU and ZAPU lost their properties during Kukuraundi. Unity came and went, and those properties in the form of farms and buildings and factories and vehicles and livestock and all that were never returned. Had there been true unity, properties should have been returned. Kukuraundi as a system today deliberately takes people from the northern region and resettles them in the southern region of the country. By so doing, the local peoples end up having no land of their own. In some cases, people have to leave the country because they would have lost their land. Factories have been deliberately closed down in Bulawayo, which was the hub of industrialization in the early years before independence. Factories have been shut down, and most of them have been turned into churches. Churches which in most cases, or in some cases, support the ideology and the system of Kukuraundi. We ask for justice. We ask for a closure of this outstanding issues of Kukuraundi. And the only way that there can be closure, there can be justice, is for the perpetrator to sit down with the victim. Perpetrator of Kukuraundi being the government of Zimbabwe, and the victim being ZAPU. It's not a secret that people were murdered for supporting ZAPU and ZIPRA and Joshua Nkom. So it will not work. The way things are being approached, it will not work. For instance, the National Peace and Reconciliation Commission was formed, but was made a white elephant, a toothless commission, such that right up to its end of its tenure, sometime this year, it has done nothing. Now there is this new system of sending the local chiefs to the very people that were that suffered the terrible hand of Kukuraundi. In fact, some of the chiefs themselves were victims of Kukuraundi or are victims of Kukuraundi. It doesn't make sense that the chiefs should go back to their own people and talk on behalf of the Kukuraundis to try and find closure. It will not work. Let's together as Zimbabweans find a better way of bringing justice and closure to the problem of the Kukuraundi genocide and Kukuraundi system. My name is Michael Sibangilizwe Nkomo, the president of ZAPU. Thank you.